motivates the whole rest of the movie.
Why? It's a little girl.
Yes, and I was hoping...
Look up, speak nicely, and don't twiddle your finger.
The argumentative nature of some of the characters that Alice meets suggests very much that Lewis Carroll was poking fun, not just at the way in which children had been written about in literature up to then, but the way in which adults tended to treat children.
You're talking about an age when children should be seen and not heard.
You only speak when you're spoken to, and you behave, and you learn your lessons.
Your way.
This is also reflected in a lot of the action in the movie, although it's treated in a more lighthearted, contemporary way. The reason they're not really paying attention in the movie is because you can see they're all literally crazy.
But I was only going to...
I'll ask the questions. Do you play croquet?
In Victorian times, it was very ordinary for the local vicar or other gentleman to come to the home of parishioners or friends and play croquet with the girls and the boys sometimes.
Walt used to play croquet with his daughters Diane and Sharon in their backyard of their home, and so it's very likely that the gags that are used in this sequence perhaps come out of some ideas of Walt when he was playing croquet with his girls.
Jimmy McDonald did one of the greatest, weirdest, funniest Disney sounds. It's the sound of the laughter of the flamingos. It really brings out the characters of these flamingos. I know when we were doing Aladdin, I had to animate some scenes with the flamingo and Iago the parrot, and I kept on trying to find that track because I wanted to use it for the flamingo, and in the end they just used my voice, which I don't think was as good.
There are stories that really are universal and everlasting, and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass are really two of those stories.
The reason the books have lasted through the years is that they have real insight into the essence of childhood.
Lewis Carroll has not been properly appreciated as a character who actually stands at a kind of cusp in the history of literature, certainly children's literature. He's a character who began, I think, seeing things in a way differently to the way people had seen them before. He saw children differently, he saw childhood differently. And the way in which he reflected that in his writings is absolutely key to the way in which our understanding of children began to change.
Oh, well, that's the whole theme of the book, is the trouble that a child has in an adult society. And that is why children feel for Alice and can not only sympathize, but have a bond with her because they have experienced the same kind of treatment.
Do you want us both to lose our heads?
Lewis Carroll's approach to telling stories for children was recognizing children as a different kind of audience than had been heard or thought of for children's literature previously.
The books have a special charm and a special magic that I think Walt, when he was a small boy, responded to. Walt and Lewis Carroll, I think in some ways there was something in their imaginations that resonated and that made Carroll's work appeal to Walt.
I say, how are you getting on?
Alice in Wonderland, I think, more than any other piece of subject matter that Walt Disney ever was involved with, is really a lifelong project for him. Finally, to pay tribute to the notion that he had in his youth, he does it in a very grand way.
If I lose my temper, you lose your head. Understand?
The film is really appreciated as an artistic achievement, much more so than any sort of emotional or childlike level. One appreciates it for its cleverness, for its amusing qualities, for the ability of the artist to have found the humor in these odd situations and brought them to the screen in a uniquely collaborative way, where painters and animators and the vocal performances really come together to make it a film that you experience on an artistic level.
And the legacy of it is that it brought new interest in the story of Alice.
A little trial.
Very well then.
It's quite hard to understand the relationship between Alice Little and Charles Dodson, because it's a relationship which actually is intense, probably for quite a reasonably short period of time, and yet the ramifications of it reach out on and are still with us today and are still being written about by people.
Anakin.
People still wonder today, what is it that made this relationship between Lewis Carroll and Alice Little so profound? Did this relationship take on more meaning simply because the book became so famous?
Get to the part where I lose my temper.
Well, he did have a great deal of affection, and you might say love, indeed. I think it was love for the real Alice, but it was cut off by Mrs. Little.
We will never know now the exact reason why Lewis Carroll's relationship is ruptured with the Little family. It was possibly rumoured that he was becoming too attached to Lorena, Alice's elder sister.
Lewis Carroll wasn't eligible. Mrs. Little wouldn't have a mere Oxford Don for a son-in-law.
It was also rumoured that he was spending time with these three girls whose governess, they supposed in Oxford scandal terms, was the real object of Charles Dodson's affections. Miss Prickett, who was the governess, who must have been a fairly fearsome woman because she's been described as being the possible origin of the Red Queen, suddenly was being linked in undergraduate gossip with the name of Charles Dodson.
Unimportant.